Hey, 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 on this rainy day, look what we got. It's something from Brooks. It's the Glycerin 22 and 22 GTS. Let's talk about them. It's probably obvious, but I paid for these shoes myself via roadrunnersports. So let's first review the stats of each of these shoes. The Glycerin 22 and 22 GTS both have a 38 millimeter heel stack height and a 10 millimeter drop. The standard 22 is 10.2 ounces or 289 grams in the men's size 9, and the 22 GTS comes in a little heavier at 10.7 ounces or 303 grams. Both of these shoes are $165 US. The upper on both of these shoes is the same, other than the name on the tongue. The upper is an engineered double jacquard knit. The tongue is relatively thick and soft. The tongue is not gusseted, but does have a lace loop to help hold it in place. I didn't have any issues with the tongue moving around, and doubt anyone else would as well, as it's a well-cushioned tongue. The ankle collar is nicely cushioned as well. I felt the upper was very comfortable, and I didn't have any rubbing or hot spots. The midsole is where the standard Glycerin 22 and the 22 GTS differ. The GTS has a hard guide rail on the inside of the shoe labeled Go-To Support and a more cushioned rail on the outside of the shoe. The forefoot of both of the shoes is the same, so if you're a forefoot striker, I'd say go with the one that looks better. Brooks calls this foam DNA Tune and says it has two sizes of cells, larger in the heel for a softer landing and smaller in the forefoot. I didn't notice the cell sizes per se when I used them. In terms of firmness, I consider these to be about in the middle of the road as far as running shoes go. There are softer shoes such as the Glycerin Max, and there are firmer shoes such as the Brooks Ghost line. This shoe was much softer, though, than the Glycerin 20s I have. I don't have the 21s, but definitely softer than the 20. On the outsole, the rubber covers most of the bottom of the shoe. It had a good grip on the wet sidewalk and wet pavement today when I took it out in the rain, but I did find it was a little slippery on the plank floors as they were wet. For me, I found I preferred the standard Glycerin 22 over the GTS version. The standard Glycerin offered enough support for me, so I will be returning the GTS version and likely keeping the standard Glycerin 22. Looking for that medium cushion daily trainer? I would recommend the Glycerin 22, and it seems like the $165 price tag is about standard for shoes in this category these days. But if I was going to buy just one shoe or even two, I'd probably save a few dollars and get something like the Nova Blast 4 or Nova Blast 5 over the Glycerin 22. But the Glycerin 22 is a good shoe, and I've enjoyed it so far. Remember, it's your race, your pace, and your shoe. So buy what you want and enjoy your race.